Good morning, everybody. Yes, Mikey's still sick. Now I have it. But I wanted to do a quick intro to part three here because the elders are trying to say they want to help Edith, but their help is conditional. And also in this part, they get to talking about the Australian Royal Commission and governing body Jeffrey Jackson's testimony again. And the one elder, he says that he's not going to go investigate it. He's not going to go watch it. But they all start defending it and what Jeffrey Jackson said. So this is quite the conundrum because, how can you defend something that you haven't even seen yet? And they're trying to discredit, what was said for this Australian Royal Commission and Jeffrey Jackson. So, maybe he was stressed out. Maybe he didn't have a script. Since when do you need a script to tell the truth? It's like, wow. I mean, this just screams cult to me because they won't even go look at what they're defending. And that is just insane. It really is insane. How can you defend something you know absolutely nothing about? So, anyway, and with all of these guys going after her, I think Edith does an incredible job. I mean, my goodness. And, we know she's nervous and upset because, I mean, who wouldn't be? Getting all of this thrown at you at once. So, and she's been through a lot. So, enjoy part three.
Because you consider yourself to be a witness.
I asked for help, and nobody helped me until now. It's come to this.
The opportunity is presenting itself. So I'm asking if you would like help.
I'm not so sure. I just don't know. I don't want to be abused anymore. It's taking it all my life. I'm sick of it. You want to be persecuted by, Jesus was persecuted by his own people. Everybody denied him, even his apostles, cowards. The only ones that stuck by him was just women.
So would you be willing to have some spiritual help given?
If you think you can help me, then sure.
Are you willing to accept the help?
Willing to accept it?
That's the question. We can give help, but it needs to be accepted. Some of your thinking needs to change if you want to stay as one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
There's no abuse. There's not.
I have said no.
No, but we're not going to abuse you. We're not going to take advantage of you. There's nobody going to change your mind. You have to change on your own. You have to make your own decision. But we can offer spiritual help. You have to be willing to accept it and follow its direction, because that's the only way you can make progress, is if you accept it and follow its direction. So that's why we were asking you, Edith, if you would like some help. We can help you, and then all you would need to do is follow its direction, Edith. It's not a matter of anybody taking advantage of you or shunning you because of whatever reason. It's not about any of that. You're one of Jehovah's Witnesses. We offer spiritual help to all who are Jehovah's Witnesses. We offer spiritual help to those who want it. All they have to do is accept it and follow its lead, its discipline, and then things can progress from there. Then we can make assessments, we can help you even further. So it's up to you. It really is, the ball is in your court to decide what you want to do with it. The last thing we want to do is hurt you further or do any more damage.
Well, I do love God. I love Jehovah and Jesus for what they've done for me. And if they decide they're not worthy to be in the new system, then so be it.
But no one's throwing you away.
I'm only trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to be on the right side.
We understand that, but you gotta see Edith from our viewpoint. There's some things that are quite some serious questions they have that we're quite concerned about, and that's the reason why we're here. We didn't call this meeting because of something that's not so, important to know about. We called it to help you because we realized we have some serious questions we need to decide because it involves your future. We're concerned about you. We didn't call this meeting because we're not concerned about the effort we made. All of us are here, even me, because they're concerned as well. They're friends of yours. So all of us have made the effort to be here to help you. It's not for any other reason. So I'm asking you, were you willing to accept some spiritual direction, some help? Because we're willing to provide it if you're willing to accept. It's up to you. I'm appealing to you.
On one hand, I do want, I am a spiritual person, and the reason why, and what happened, a few incidences that happened in the past 2 years since I've been in this congregation.
It's understandable.
I just, anytime, it just seemed like the last 2 years, anytime that I needed help, I asked for help, I reached out.
Well, we're giving you the opportunity now if you're willing to accept it. Maybe this could be a chance to kind of turn things around and, maybe things will be better than they have been. But you won't know unless you take the opportunity.
Well, some of the questions that I have, you guys aren't gonna like.
That's fine.
Yeah, I just want to read something to Edith. This was brought up a few minutes ago as one of the questions for baptismal candidates. Do you understand that your dedication and baptism identify you as one of Jehovah's Witnesses in association with God's Spirit-directed organization?
That's in the new book, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the one that I studied.
What? So do you disagree with that? Because all baptismal candidates now answer yes to that question. So do you disagree with that question? Or would you accept it? If you were getting baptized at the next assembly, would you accept that question? Do you understand that your dedication and baptism identify you as one of Jehovah's Witnesses in association with God's Spirit-directed organization? Could you answer yes to that question?
Yeah, let's keep on thinking back to what he said about it.
We can give you help if you want to be part of Jehovah's Spirit-directed organization. If you feel that this is not the organization Jehovah's using, then that's of concern to us. And if, this is basically what you've been saying this evening, Edith, that you feel that something is not right here. That's what we need to know. We're offering you help, but it's conditional. That you accept that you would be one of Jehovah's Witnesses in association with God's Spirit-directed organization. we're not going to give you help if you're going to sit there and be critical of the organization and the governing body. Because that's not accepting the help either. Okay? You know, all of us, all four of us would answer yes to that question. Because there's no issue there at all.
Well, I would have said yes to it too had I not heard him say that they're not.
See, I don't understand that what one man said. That wasn't the governing body that issued that statement. It wasn't on our. It wasn't in one of our publications.
I've seen him on, like.
But you know what? I've said things from the platform that haven't been right on the mark, Edith. Maybe that brother, you know, was under stress that day. Maybe he, you know, had no script in front of him. Maybe, you know, something. That's not the feeling of the organization. That's what we're telling you. This is God's Spirit-directed organization. It doesn't say in association with one of God's Spirit-directed organizations. It's in association with God's Spirit-directed organization. We believe this is His organization. Where that statement from Brother Jackson came from, I have no idea. But that is not the understanding or belief of the organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
On that Australian Commission.
Australian Royal Commission website.
Was
Yeah.
he being interviewed?
It's a public hearing. Public hearing.
Was he interviewed? You said you heard him say it.
Yeah, but I was on.
Was he being interviewed?
No, it wasn't an interview. It was actually a.
For what?
The press. I guess I don't know if Angus Stewart. I guess is like a prosecutor or something, and he was one that asked Jeffrey Jackson.
So he was being questioned.
Yes,
So
on trial, on a public trial. It was a. It's
Why would
public.
Brother Jackson?
It wasn't a trial. It wasn't a trial.
Why would
It was
he
a
say
commission.
this? Why would he say
Same
that?
thing.
No, the commission is not a trial.
A commission.
The commission is an investigation.
Okay.
It's not a trial. It's
And
an
all I know
investigation
is-
by the government.
Well, I'm not.
But it
a
seems
lawyer
that you're
or
really
anything.
hung up on that, Edith.
Well,
And that's
it's bothering me that he said that because it's just bothering me that he said that because I thought, well, if this isn't, what keeps going through my mind is that if he's saying that, and then
But
now I'm confused.
you didn't read it in any of our publications. You
No.
didn't see it on the website. You didn't see it on
Well, it
the
won't be on the
TV
website.
station.
You're not going to put about child sexual abuse on the website.
No, but him saying that about, you know, that Jehovah possibly could use other organizations. Is basically
I'm just
what
saying
he's
what he
saying.
said. I'm just repeating what he said.
And what I'm saying is, that's not in harmony with what the organization believes. I just read that to you. We believe that this is God's Spirit-directed organization. It doesn't say one of God's Spirit-directed organizations. This is the Spirit-directed organization, Jehovah's Witnesses. We believe that. To be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you have to believe that, Edith. And you're saying you don't believe that. That's our concern.
And that's why we're questioning whether or not you want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Well, Jehovah is God, and I consider myself a worshiper of Jehovah, so how else, I don't know what else to say. I mean,
But do you accept this?
I
Do you
consider
accept
myself
this? Do you accept this as God's Spirit-directed organization?
well, they said they weren't inspired, though, in their publication.
It
Read in
doesn't say
their
inspired.
publication.
It doesn't say inspired. It says Spirit-directed organization.
What does inspired mean, though, then?
Breathed from God. That's what inspired means. The literal word means breathed from God.
The apostles could be inspired,
Mm-hmm.
who wrote the books, because God would breathe His words into them.
That I understand. Okay, that I get.
Mm-hmm.
But for God's Spirit anointed, would be Holy Spirit activating on them with Jesus as head of the congregation, acting as the Spirit. Holy Spirit would be active on them to dispense the spiritual food that they dispense.
So it should be correct on them, right, if Jesus is...
They make every effort to make it as correct as possible. They make a mistake, they usually admit it. They don't usually hide it. It's not something they hide. And they give,
Well, and that's what
they
I
give
said to
new
that sister that I
understanding.
was telling you about.
They give new understanding. If there's something that needs to be corrected. So it's not something that's just swept under the carpet, as some people think.
Because when you're on the phone, when you asked me, and when I told you about the sister that happened, I don't know her name. This was short, about I don't know, a few months when I first came. And she said that she said something about the governing body. So at least they admit it. That's what I said to her.
Do you feel that way now?
Well, they do admit if they make a mistake. And so
So, sounds like you're
I'm confused.
half on them, half on their side, half not on their side. So is it all because of this one statement that you're hanging your hat on it and you're saying this is the reason why I doubt the organization? Is it that one statement?
What happened was
Because
when he said that, it was almost because remember I was saying before about like what happened with you didn't know what was going on, and I was in my mind I thought there's no way that how can this be Jehovah's organization if things like this are going on? He's appointed. He's supposed to be appointed by Holy Spirit, and appointed by Jehovah to have positions of authority and dealing with people and when if they have problems or anything like that, it made me kind of question that because I thought, well, if he's an elder, and I'm not the only person. I know I'm not the only person that he's treated like that. But I'm not. That's up to them to come if they want. But I can only speak for myself. So that is even before I heard that statement, that was what was going through my mind. So when I heard that statement, it was almost like he was solidifying it for me. You understand what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
Edith, let's suppose you look at the time of the apostles. How would you have reacted when Judas betrayed Jesus?
Jesus still called him a friend.
He was a traitor.
He was a traitor, yes.
And
he forgave Peter too. He still loved Peter.
Did he forgive Judas?
Judas killed himself.
Okay,
so I'm not sure.
So how would you? But here was a hand-picked apostle. Would you have called him to question Jesus' authority over the rest of the apostles? Would you question whether or not he was?
Oh no! I'm not questioning Jehovah. That's what.
No, but would you have questioned the arrangement?
Sometimes I question.
Would you have questioned the arrangement? Jesus picked him. Would you have stayed with Jesus, or would you have abandoned him?
Well,
he must have made a mistake. He picked Judas. And the apostles were picked with the assistance of Holy Spirit too, don't forget. See, I think part of the challenge you're having is you don't really have a correct understanding of how Jehovah's Spirit works. The difference between the Bible being inspired and men being guided by Holy Spirit. There's a difference. So his organization is guided by his Spirit. That doesn't mean they can't make mistakes or even make wrong decisions at certain times. And that was the case of the early Christian congregation. No different. You read the Bible book of Acts. So, and the brothers are offering you assistance, but what they're saying.
I do want the assist. I do want it to help. I'm not saying I don't. I don't want to.
But if you're going to continue to expose yourself to the voice of strangers, which quite frankly you have been doing, maybe not necessarily talking to people, but boy, I don't know how much time he's spending on this commission or whatever, and I've never heard of it before you brought it up. I have no intention of investigating it. I'm just saying that there's a lot, even my initial response when you said, Brother Jackson said, you know what my response was? As a person who trusts him, I don't even know him. But he is part of the governing body. Instead of my having doubts like you did, my initial reaction is, I can't believe he would say that.
I agree.
So there must have been more to it. That's why I asked you, was he being interviewed? Because sometimes in interviews, things are taken out of context, okay? And so then they clip what they want. And this is what so-and-so said, and it becomes a misquote because it wasn't said. Because Brother Jackson, without even knowing he was a member of the governing body, there is no way on earth I could possibly believe he would even inadvertently say such a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Well, there must be other organizations God uses. That would be completely contrary to what he believes.
Exactly. And what we believe.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well,
So that's what I'm saying.
It's right in there.
Yeah.
We believe this is God's Spirit-directed organization.
Yeah.
Could I ask you a question, Edith? You say you've watched this thing on this Australian Royal Commission. Is it on the internet? Or how do you get this
well,
information?
I actually, came on it by accident.
But how, like, is it on the internet?
Well, it is. I mean, everything's on there nowadays. I mean, it's the information.
So you say you came on it by accident?
Yeah, and I was shocked when I heard him say, like, because I'm like, what's this? Because it says Australian Royal Commission, and into because they investigate organizations with about like Catholics to child sexual abuse and all that, and other organizations. It's not just, they don't just it's not just it's not just, wasn't just, Catholics and
But you've gone back to it a few times, though.
Well, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
So you've gone back to it a few times?
Yeah.
Did you have a question?
No, I'm just, before when we were talking, I was thinking about what to say. Do you remember the powerful drama that we had at one of the assemblies recently about the return?
Yeah.
Very good drama. Because it expanded just a little bit more on what it took for this man to return. It wasn't easy. Now, if you want to return to Jehovah's organization, it's going to take some work on your part. But this is why I was asking you the question. It isn't that we want to put you out of the organization. But if you don't want to belong with us, then we're not going to force you.
Well, I think that's good. That's actually a good, like what you said, because I'm not very good sometimes with words. I know I say words better sometimes, most times, and I just, like I said, I'm confused, and it just feels like too many questions.
It really boils down to the question of, do you want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses? And are you going to accept what the faithful slave is teaching us, and accept that they are the channel God is using? That's really what it boils down to. To be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, we have to accept that.
But even if they're wrong, What if they're wrong about something and I die?
Well, we still believe that the channel God is you.
Like, you know.
We can't
I'm
switch
not
off
talking
one
about-
day and say, well, I'll believe you when you correct it. But today I don't believe it until something, else comes out. We believe that this is the channel God is using. We have to believe that. That's the question. If you one of Jehovah's Witnesses today, you have to answer yes to that question. If you want to be identified as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, in association with God's Spirit-directed organization, you have to accept that. If you can't accept that, then you're not one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
And what about when those 7 men are all dead?